Hello and welcome to Camel Essentials. Today we're going to cover a SQL component, the ability to write out to a RDBMS. So without further ado, let's get started. So what we're going to do to start is I'm just going to type in what I want it to do. So we'll zip through that and then I'll talk through what it's doing as it's generating the code. And hopefully it's going to give me what I'm looking for, because I don't honestly know. Sometimes I get some really weird stuff out of ChatGPT and I think they call it hallucinations. But from a coding standpoint, yeah, it doesn't always give me exactly what I want, but we'll check it out and see what it gives us. So let's get started. Okay, so what I asked it to do was just go ahead and take what I had in a Camel route, and I wanted to add in a JDBC component call, and then basically write that out to the RDBMS. And let's take a look at what it generated. So at this point, it looks like it did a pretty good job from the standpoint of it's creating a processor, which is just allows you to put in straight Java code. And in this case, it's just asking it, give me the body of it. Let me do an object mapper. Here it's just a map, string of strings from the JSON. And then it's going to do a set body on this. And there must be doing a type reference, set body on this. So I'm not seeing where it might have added the insert statement, but let's see what it's generated for me further on. Let's see. So this is the setting up my MySQL, which is good. Here's the database create, perfect. Here's the JDBC configuration. We're going to need all of this, so perfect. So it looks like it gave me most of what I think I need. The only thing I'm a little iffy on is this generated source. So I might have to actually come in here and ask it to modify this. Because I'm not seeing where the JDBC component would actually take in and do an insert. But let's go ahead and take it as it is, and let's see what we get. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this over. So first thing I want to do is actually get my database set up. So with that, I am going to need to take this, where was it? Right here. I need the MySQL all the way down. So let's take this and let's add it to the Docker compose files. Let's come in here and let's see, boom, boom. All right, so we've added that in. I don't think, since the data is in there, we don't need to define that. We will need to have an init.sql, which I could put at the top level where it's asking for it, which would be right here. So right in here, I'll create a new file. This is the simplest part of it. So let's just call it init.sql. And let's see, so I got that in there. We can go ahead and add that, why not? So now what we have to do is inside that, we need to add the create. So let's do this. So created that for me. Everything's good there. Let me take that and I'll just post it here. That's good. Pizza size, order time. Okay, that's interesting. Didn't really look to see what it was actually trying to generate for me here. Let's scoot this back. Customer name, type. Okay, formatting's a problem apparently. Let's do that. No. Stop it. Sometimes, I tell you, these things just get on you. Okay, so we've got an auto-incremented ID, taking the customer name in its entirety, pizza type, the size, and then I'm not quite sure I like the fact that let's just call it pizza size so we don't get confused. And then date timestamp. Okay, I mean I could be okay with that. You know what? I don't know if, let's keep it simple. Let's just go with something like this. Let's keep it pizza type customer name. Perfect, because that kind of follows what our pizza. We got type, size, customer name. No problem. All right, so that should be that. And since we have the init file, we should all be good there. So now the question is, will this run? Let's give it a shot. Docker compose up. So let's just begin. Let's see. So it looks like it's starting up. All right, let's go check and see if the database is able to be connected to. So let's take a look here. So we are connected, and look, there's the pizza orders. Perfect. So we got the orders there, and we should now, since the table starts up, let's go ahead and just make sure that the data is structured the way we want. Let's take a look at the tables. We have an orders table, and the columns are ID, customer name, pizza type, and pizza size. Perfect. That's what we were looking for. So with that, let's go back here. Now that we have the table set up and everything's there available to us. So now what we want to do is let's take a look at the code. So from a code perspective, we got to go in here to our pizza route, and let's go grab the generated code. So let's take a look here. We're probably going to have to mess with this a little bit just because I can tell that just from looking at this, it's probably missing some stuff. So let's copy that, and let's just go and add that into here. Let's see what kind of mess we can create. So you can give us a little bit of size here so you can see it. There we go. All right, so with this, we're going to need some things added in. So let's first do this. Let's get the Jackson. That's good. Map and type reference is also Jackson. And so everything's good there. Looks like we don't have any errors, so that's perfect. Now, more than likely this is not going to start up, but let's just see what happens. I'm going to maybe clean install this guy. Now let's see if we get any exceptions, and we do, of course. And what is it not like? Let's see. Kickstart Camel, valid target release 21. Okay, so let's make sure since we restarted, we are on Java 21, and let's try that again. Maybe clean install. All right, we got a build success, so that's good. Now what we want is inside the README, I do have the command for kicking this guy off. So let's take a look. This compose. Here's what I'm looking for. Right there. All right, so let's copy him and let's put it down there and let's see what we get. This isn't going to start up. No way. Yeah, I didn't think so. More than likely, it's not connecting to. Yeah, the JDBC. We need to install some of the JDBC stuff. So we're missing a little bit here. So let's go take a look at ChatGPT. I don't think it told me the dependency. Oh, but it did. Look at that. Perfect. So let me grab this and just right out of here. And let's post this into our POM file. So here we've got this. Let's paste those in. Which ones does not like? Well, we don't have any parameter or variables here, so we'll just type it in. 20.5. Got that one. That looks all right. Let's see. Do we have any? There we go. Looks like it's good. And Jackson's bind. Let's see. 2015. Let's just grab the latest. All right. Let's rebuild. And let's restart it, or well, let's rebuild it first. Maybe clean install. Hopefully everything did actually build right. Build success. And let's go ahead and run it. Do we get the right dependencies now? Let's see. Didn't like. What does it not like now? No such bean exception. Okay, so we're making a little bit of progress. The source, the data source. So we're probably going to have to create the data source also. So let's see. I don't think ChatGPT gave us that. So we're probably going to have to, you know what? Let's just ask it for it. Generate data source for this component. Let's say JDBC component. And let's see what it gives us. See if it knows. All right, data source config. That looks good. All right, JDBC component. That's registering the component. We got those two beans. Perfect. Okay, let's, and there are the properties for it. Okay, what else did it give us? Data source, registering it. Okay, these are different options for doing the same thing. So let's just go ahead and let's start off with this up here. We're going to register the beans and all of this. So let's do this. Actually, I could just copy that. And let's go back here and wrong one. Let's go here and let's create a new, what do we need? Let's just create another class in here. So let's just do new Java class. Let's just call it data source config. Sure, why not? And it helps if I spell it right. So now I'm going to go back in and getting a little ahead of myself here, aren't I? So let's go ahead and refactor this. Where's my refactor at? There it is. Man, struggling today. Rename the file. And config, there we go. Okay, so now let's just take what it gave me, paste it in. What does it have? I don't know what these things are. We don't want that. I don't know. This is, again, not what. Why is it using Control-C? I don't know what this is. So I'm going to remove this. And I'm going to go back to ChatGPT and say, do the same. Recreate without using Zaxer. Let's see what it gives us. Yeah, this looks a little better. We'll do this. Yeah, CJ. All right, we'll do this one. This one looks better. Okay, so we'll take this, Control-C, and let's move it back. And let's create these. V. And what is the piece that I'm missing? It's going to be this guy, which means I need to install. There we go. Okay, we got that. Everything looks good. All right, perfect. Pizza user, pizza password, set up to connect to mine. I think this is different though. Let's take a look at what is our, no, it's called orders. Okay, so the database, pizza orders, component, JDBC. All right, so all of that should be okay. Let's just see where we get the next error. So let's try this. Oh, I know what we're going to need. Hold on. I need to go and grab my configurations, which are these guys, and let's throw them in the properties file. So let's come back here, application properties. Let's just put it right there. Everything is good there. I think that's right. Okay, now let's see what we get. Let's go ahead and rerun it. Might have had to rebuild it, but we'll see what kind of errors we get. Did it work? Just like that? Look at that. Route started up. We're good. Okay, now the question is, the real question is will this actually run? Okay, you know what? Why not? Let's, what do we got to lose? Let's just throw this in here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it a little bigger so we can all see it. And let's see what happens when I do this. Let's drop it in the orders bin. Let's refactor it. Boom. Yeah. Ooh, it's not like in the Kafka. All right, let's go ahead and stop that. All right, something about, but I'm going to guess that the database, well, it was never getting to the database because Kafka was failing. So let's go ahead and take a look at why Kafka is failing here. You have an error in syntax. Okay, so no, this is actually a syntax error too. So in this case, what it's saying is that our SQL syntax was not correct, which is kind of what I was getting at, because what is all we're doing is we're actually taking this, and so again, it didn't quite generate the routing correct. So let's take a look at what chat told us, and what it's trying to do here is, let's go back up here. What it created for us was this, and I kind of mentioned this in the beginning. We have it processing, all it's doing is taking the map and it's just basically setting the body to the JSON. That's not what we want. We actually have to have the insert statement in here. So the body of the exchange needs to have the full insert in it. So let's make sure that it generates this correctly. So let's ask ChatGPT again. Let's see here. Please, not please. We don't have to be polite to ChatGPT. Create the JDBC exchange with an insert statement for ingestion into the JDBC component. And I should probably say create the exchange in the processor. Let's see if this gets it right. We'll give this a shot. To ingest, blah, blah, blah. All right, so we're generating it. Let's see what it gives us now. We should see a processor that takes the class, creates it. Oh, okay, this looks better. All right, this is what we wanted. So in this case, we'll see the insert into orders. All right, so I think I can take that verbatim here, and let's go ahead. And I even like the fact that it did all of this. So I'm just going to take the whole thing. Let's take that whole processor and see if it gives us something better. All right, where is we need the router. So in here, let's give ourselves a little more space here so we can see what's going on. All right, so convert, we don't need all of this. Let's go ahead and paste that in. So what it's going to do now is going to take the body, it's going to basically parse out into a map, and then from this case, it's just going to go ahead and take those and put them back in to this insert statement. So that's what we want. And then it puts that as the body, and then it calls JDBC. So I think that's what we're going to use. So I think this might be get us closer at least. So let's go ahead and let's move the orders file out. Boom. Let's refactor it. And let's go ahead and restart this guy. Well, first let's go ahead and just to make sure. Maybe clean install. I like being thorough. So we'll do that. Then we'll go ahead and we'll restart it. Okay. Now we should be able to restart. Hopefully everything starts up okay. Looks like we're good there. Let's try this again. Hopefully it'll pick up the file. Let's refactor it. Oh, we're still getting errors. This looks like it's more. Well, let's just go see what the errors are. It's rolling back, trying to do certain things. What's our exception? Give me an exception. Are we failing on the unknown column size in field? Okay, so it generated it off the thing, and I changed the name of the field, right? I think that's part of the problem here. So if we look at our initialization script, this is my fault completely. I changed it to pizza size. So let's go back in and let's go to the pizza router. The insert now needs to say pizza size. That was my fault. All right, so we've got that. That should be good. Let's restart it. Maybe clean. Oop. Almost did that in the wrong place. Maybe clean install. There we go. And let me move this out just for now. And let's restart the app. There we go. Okay, now once this starts up, let's go ahead and now move file back in and let's see what we get. Refactor. Okay, that looked a little better. Let's see, did that work completely? Let's go take a look, shall we? Here's my database. Okay, so here's Kafka. So you can see that our consumers sitting there listening. So we've got a bunch going through. Look at that. Okay, so we got that. Now let's go take a look at the table. Let's see, I don't want to drop anything. Let's do this. Let's do a select star from orders, right? Or pizza orders. .orders. All right, let's just see if we got what we expected here. Like that. Let's run that. Look at that. We got the data in there. Bam. Not a problem. Okay, pizza type, pizza size, looks good. Okay, that wasn't too bad, was it? With that, I mean, that pretty much gets us where we needed to be. So let's just take a look at the code really quick and just kind of spell out a few of the things that I ran into here. So obviously what ChatGPT gave me was wrong to begin with. And that's part of the challenge here is we need to be able to figure out when we look at something that's been given to us that it was wrong. But once you get used to doing this and you do this quite a few times, you start to recognize that where ChatGPT fails. But it got us a lot of code very quickly. So it's a great tool to use to get you closer to where you want to be. But it is not going to be replacing developers anytime soon. Obviously, from what you can see, it's not quite that powerful. It doesn't necessarily know the context. It doesn't understand whether or not it's the correct code. There's just things in here that it doesn't quite generate correctly. So you really need to be able to identify and see when things are wrong. But as you practice this and you get a little more knowledge around how to set these things up, it becomes very, recognizable that things are not correct when it's coming out of ChatGPT. But like I said, it gets you very close. Again, there's other ways of doing this besides the JDBC endpoint. You could use a SQL endpoint. You could create your own bean that does inserts. There's ways to do this where you're setting up this split and you aggregate on a certain number so you can batch things together. There's all kinds of power here, but this is just a very simple show to show how quickly you can come up with some of these little routes that get you at least closer to where you want to be. But then over time you can actually start building these out and getting more sophisticated and everything else. My next video is probably going to be around how to monitor some of this stuff, because that's where a lot of power comes from too. So I look forward to showing you guys that, but thank you for joining me on this journey, and I really hope that this helps you out, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks.